Right, strap yourselves in, because today we're going deep on a piece of writing with a title that is, well, it's definitely something. An Awkward Night at the Illuminati Preteen Sex Party.
Definitely grabs your attention.
Yeah, so this was published in January of 2017. And, at the time, it might have seemed like just another, out there piece of fiction. But knowing what we know now about, like, Jeffrey Epstein and all that.
Yeah, it hits a little differently now.
Yeah, it really does.
Looking back.
So for this deep dive, we're only working from this one source, this Awkward Night, the Illuminati Preteen Sex Party thing.
Okay.
And it's originally from daggermag.com.
Interesting.
So what we really want to do today is kind of look at, like, how does this piece hold up as, like, satire?
Right.
Given, like, what we know now about the world and stuff,
Especially given all the stuff that's come out, since 2017.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, how much of it was maybe, more than just fiction?
Yeah, that's a good question because, January 2017, the political climate back then was intense, to say the least.
For sure.
Right on the heels of that election and everything.
Totally.
So this piece kind of feels like it throws all these, political figures we all recognize and then just these shocking allegations.
It's like a blender.
Yeah.
Just throws it all in.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama, George Soros, Morgan Freeman even shows up.
Wow.
And they're all at this, like, party at Eichenwald's mansion in Georgetown.
Okay.
But it's not just any party. It's got masks and robes and this, like, real sense of something creepy going on underneath.
It sounds like the author took all those conspiracy theories about, the elite and just cranked it up to 11.
For sure.
But the question is it all just for shock value, or is there something deeper going on here?
Right.
How does this piece with all the graphic content and crazy scenarios actually work as satire?
Yeah, because it's not exactly subtle.
No, not at all.
We've got these major figures, like, engaging in some really messed up stuff. And then there's the whole thing about the salamanders.
Oh, yeah, the salamanders. That's where it gets really disturbing.
Yeah.
The author describes them as these child sex slaves pruned to satisfy the acme of present taste.
That's a pretty chilling phrase.
Yeah.
Like, what is the author trying to do with this imagery?
Right. What's the point?
Yeah.
Is it just to shock us, or is there a deeper meaning there? One thing that really makes this piece so effective, I think, is how the author uses language.
Yeah.
It's, like, so vivid, almost like poetic at times, but, like, in a way that totally makes your skin crawl.
Yeah, for sure. Like that part about the pizzas, remember?
Yeah.
Restricted to 28 of Hollywood's finest. They had no breasts, no hair, no tongues, no fingernails, and no eyesight. Like, it's just so disturbing.
And that phrase, Hollywood's finest, it's like dripping with sarcasm.
Totally.
It plays on how we usually think of that term, like, beautiful, talented people.
Right. And then just twists it into this horrible thing.
Yeah, it's like the opposite.
And that contrast, that's what makes satire so powerful.
Oh, yeah. It's like it makes you see things in a totally different way.
Yeah, you think you know something and then bam. It's not what you thought at all.
And it's not just the language, it's the imagery,
Oh,
too.
for sure.
Like that scene with Hillary Clinton.
Okay.
Sitting in that room with the giant eye-shaped window.
Oh, yeah, that's creepy.
Right? Like overlooking the whole party.
It's such a weird detail.
It's so specific.
But it sticks with you.
Yeah, and that whole eye thing pops up again and again in the story.
Right.
The salamanders with their eyes sewn shut.
Oh, yeah.
That constant feeling of being watched.
It's like Big Brother.
Yeah, and it really plays into that fear people have about, like, powerful people doing things in secret.
Oh, totally. Like all those conspiracy theories about the Illuminati and stuff. It's like the author's saying, even if you don't believe in all that, there's still something kind of scary about how power works. Behind the scenes.
For sure.
Like things we don't see.
And by using these over-the-top, almost cartoonish descriptions of, all the horrible stuff, the author kind of highlights those fears.
Yeah.
In a way that's shocking, but also makes you think. It's like they're taking the worst possible scenario, like the darkest parts of our imagination, and just throwing it all out there.
So let's talk about impact.
Okay.
How do you think people would react to this back in 2017? Compared to now after everything that's happened?
That's a good question.
Like with Epstein and all that.
I think in 2017, some people probably would have just dismissed it.
Yeah.
As like some crazy conspiracy theory.
Right.
But now, with everything we know about Epstein and how powerful people can abuse their power, it hits differently.
It's almost like the piece is more relevant now.
It's kind of disturbing when you think about it.
It is.
Right.
Yeah.
It shows how satire can tap into these deep anxieties we have.
Uh-huh.
Anxieties about the world, anxieties that we don't always talk about.
Yeah, it's like brings them to the surface.
Exactly.
But satire can be tricky, though, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's like walking a tightrope
Definitely.
between commentary and, something that people could misinterpret.
Right. Like, you have to be careful.
Yeah.
Because if the audience doesn't get the joke,
Right.
or if they take it literally,
Yeah.
it can backfire big time.
And in this case, with the subject matter being so sensitive,
Yeah.
the chance of people misinterpreting it is even higher.
Oh, definitely.
So how do you think the author navigates that tightrope? Do they manage to make it thought-provoking but also responsible?
Well, one thing that stands out to me is that the author used a pseudonym.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think it definitely adds another layer to it.
Yeah.
Like, on one hand, maybe the author was trying to protect themselves,
Right.
Because of how controversial the content is.
Because, let's face it, this piece is pretty intense.
Yeah.
It's graphic and disturbing,
Yeah.
and it's directly accusing real people of doing some awful things.
But on the other hand, maybe the pseudonym was a way for the author to let the piece speak for itself,
That's a good point.
without their real identity getting in the way.
So people could focus on the message, not on who wrote it.
It's almost like the author is saying, don't focus on him. Focus on what I'm trying to say.
Exactly.
And that anonymity makes it even more unsettling in a way.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like a secret.
Yeah, like a whisper.
Uh-huh.
A glimpse into something hidden.
So for everyone listening, think about this. Does the fact that the author is anonymous make the satire more powerful or less powerful? Does it make the message stronger, or does it just create this feeling of unease?
It's a tough question.
Yeah.
No easy answers.
But it's something to think about as you keep reading this piece. It's this unsettling but definitely fascinating piece of writing.
So we've talked a lot about how dark and disturbing this piece is.
Yeah.
But we should remember that, satire is usually about making things better.
Right. It's not just about being shocking. It's about holding a mirror up to society.
Right.
Showing us the bad stuff. And hopefully making us think and maybe even do something about it.
So even though this story is fiction.
Right.
And it's super over the top and crazy. There's still a real message in there.
Yeah, and I think that message is even stronger now.
Right.
After everything that's come out about Epstein.
Yeah, it makes you wonder how much of what people call conspiracy theories is actually true.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't dismiss things so quickly.
Exactly.
Maybe there's more going on than we realize.
And it makes you think about what happens behind closed doors.
Right.
In those powerful circles.
The stuff we never see.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder who's actually holding those powerful people accountable.
That's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because power without accountability.
Right.
That's how you get corruption and abuse.
And satire can be a way to hold those people accountable.
Yeah, in its own way. It can expose them.
Right.
Show their hypocrisy, their flaws, their darkness.
It can make us laugh, but it can also make us think.
And sometimes that's the most dangerous thing.
For the powerful people anyway.
Exactly. Because when people start questioning the stories they've been told, when they start seeing through the lies, that's when things can really change.
So as we wrap up our deep dive on An Awkward Night at the Illuminati Preteen Sex Party, we want to leave you with this thought.
Okay.
Things aren't always what they seem.
Right.
Power can be really seductive. And it can corrupt people.
Absolutely.
And it's up to all of us to think critically.
Yeah.
To question authority and to demand that those in power are held accountable.
Don't be afraid to look deeper, to question the stories you're told.
And to search for the truth.
Even if it's uncomfortable.
Exactly.
Even if it's disturbing.
Because in a world where information is constantly being twisted and manipulated, being vigilant is more important than ever.
Absolutely.
So until next time, keep diving deep, keep asking questions, and keep those eyebrows raised.
Yeah.